My fellow Americans and friends abroad, today's video is about the President of the United States. Oh, but not just any President of the United States. Oh no. These are presidents that have appeared in motion pictures. Some are about real presidents. Most have fake presidents. Some are dramatic. Some are funny. Some are downright exciting. But one thing is clear. All of these movies contain the President of the United States. So let's get to it. The first movie we're going to talk about is, of course, a real president, Abraham Lincoln, played by Daniel Day-Lewis. This film came out in 2012, rated PG-13, and runs 2 hours and 30 minutes. As many of you know, this is about a very particular moment in Abraham Lincoln's presidential career when he was out on the battlefield fighting all that carnage, but also fighting with cabinet members on the inside about the emancipation of slaves. This movie also stars Sally Field as Mary Todd Lincoln, Joseph Gordon-Levitt as Robert Lincoln, Hal Holbrook as Preston Blair, Tommy Lee Jones as Thaddeus Stevens. The film was also nominated for 12 Academy Awards, including nominations for Spielberg as Best Director and the film for Best Motion Picture. But the only 2 wins went to Production Design and Daniel Day-Lewis as Abraham Lincoln. So if you want a real highbrow presidential movie, this is your pick.
This fight is for the United States of America.
At number 9, we have Peter Sellers starring as President Merkin Muffley in Dr. Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Bomb. This movie came out in 1964, rated PG, and runs an hour and 35 minutes. This movie is absolutely hilarious, directed by Stanley Kubrick. And look, I'm not a super Kubrick fan, but I loved this movie. I thought the casting was fantastic. Aside from Peter Sellers, you've also got George C. Scott as General Buck Turgidson, Slim Pickens as Major King Kong, Sterling Hayden as Brigadier General Jack D. Ripper, and you've even got an early performance by James Earl Jones. This movie's about an American general that orders a bombing attack on the Soviet Union, triggering a path to nuclear holocaust that a war room full of politicians and generals try to stop. And if you haven't seen these scenes in the war room, they are absolutely to die for. They're so funny. So if you've never seen this movie, do yourself a favor and check out Dr. Strangelove.
Gentlemen, you can't fight in here. This is the war room.
All right, the fun continues here at number 8 with Morgan Freeman as President Beck in the movie Deep Impact, which came out in 1998, rated PG-13, and runs 2 hours. And of course, Deep Impact was one of those asteroid movies, you know, where it's about to come and destroy the Earth, and all the survivalists are just trying to figure a way to survive this impact. And Morgan Freeman does such a fantastic job as President Beck. Other stars in this movie include Téa Leoni, Elijah Wood, and Robert Duvall. If you haven't seen Deep Impact, I highly recommend you watch it. This sort of came out that same time that Deep Impact and Armageddon were coming out head-to-head. And while I feel like Armageddon is the bigger spectacle of the 2 films, Deep Impact has a lot more heart to it. I watched it again last year, and it really holds up, and it just had a lot more emotional depth to it than I remembered. So if you're ready for some Morgan Freeman as the President of the United States, check out Deep Impact. All right, at number 7, we have Jim Curley playing the President of the United States in the movie In the Line of Fire, which came out in 1993, rated R, and runs 2 hours and 8 minutes. The movie was directed by Wolfgang Peterson and, of course, stars the great Clint Eastwood, who is a Secret Service agent who failed to protect President Kennedy back in the day, but he is hell-bent on protecting the new President of the United States. So even though this is more about the Secret Service, he is there to protect the president, so I'm counting it. This film is exciting and highly entertaining and has a banger of a cast including John Malkovich, Rene Russo, Dylan McDermott, Gary Cole, John Mahoney, and the list just goes on and on. So if you want to see a really good action thriller, check out In the Line of Fire.
That's not gonna happen.
All right, y'all, up at number 6, we have the incredible Michael Douglas playing President Andrew Shepard in the film The American President, directed by the awesome Rob Reiner. This film came out in 1995. It's rated PG-13 and runs an hour and 54 minutes. It's fun to get a romantic comedy on this list. May not be the last one, but basically his president is widowed and he's running for re-election, and a environmental lobbyist played by Annette Bening catches his eye and they fall in love.
Lucy, are you okay with this? Am I having dinner with a lady?
Dad, it's cool. Just go for it.
So if you haven't seen this film, it is a cute little movie, and the chemistry between Michael Douglas and Annette Bening is absolutely fantastic. It just warms your heart. It's nice to get some comedy in here, and oh heck, let's just roll right into another one.
Would you like to dance?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, yes, sir. I'd love to.
All right, here we go at number 5. The romantic comedy continues with Kevin Kline as President Bill Mitchell and his doppelganger Dave Kovic in the movie Dave, which came out in 1993, rated PG-13 and runs an hour and 50 minutes. The film was directed by the awesome Ivan Reitman, who gave us Ghostbusters, and also stars Sigourney Weaver and Frank Langella. And this is like a really cute movie, y'all. So the premise is Kevin Kline runs a temporary employment agency, and due to his look-alike as the president, he goes out and kind of does like bits as the president just because people say he looks like it. But something happens in the real world where the president has a stroke and they need somebody to take his place. So they go and hire Dave to sort of be the president temporarily so that they can get certain things accomplished. But the drama continues when the chief of staff wants to force the vice president to resign by getting him mixed up in sort of a scandal. So yeah, so it's just a cute one, y'all. If you haven't checked out Dave, it's got a fantastic cast, and it hits all the notes you wanted to on a romantic comedy. So that's 2 of them right there.
You're a very handsome man. Thank you, Mr. President. Just get rid of the grin. You look like a schmuck.
Dave.
At number 4, we're getting crazy with Jack Nicholson as President James Dale, also pulling double duty in this one as another character called Art Land, but that's irrelevant because that's just Jack wanting to play 2 roles in the film, much how Peter Sellers played multiple roles in Dr. Strangelove. But let's continue. Mars Attacks came out in 1996, rated PG-13, and runs an hour and 46 minutes. It is directed by the visual maestro Tim Burton, and this thing is an absolute crazy movie, y'all. If you haven't seen it, you know, they got these, it's all about a love letter to the old sci-fi Martian movies of the past. Even the flying saucers are saucer shaped, and the sound effects and the music, it's very woo, very reminiscent of, you know, the old days. The cast here is absolutely stacked, by the way. Not only do you have Nicholson playing 2 roles, but you've also got Glenn Close playing the First Lady, and you've also got Pierce Brosnan, Sarah Jessica Parker, Annette Bening, Danny DeVito, Martin Short, Michael J. Fox, Natalie Portman, Tom Jones, and Jim Brown, just to name a few. I mean, this thing is just so stacked. It's absolutely fun. Oh, and a very early appearance by Jack Black. I rewatched this again last year, and I was totally stunned that Jack Black was in this. He plays like a young lad who's going off to, you know, fight in the military and, you know, take on some of these aliens. And, you know, I'll just say it's kind of funny what happens to him, poor guy. But yeah, if you've not seen Mars Attacks, it is a visual feast. It's insane. Probably not for everybody, but I adore this movie. So check it out, Mars Attacks.
Hey, we all make mistakes, Mr. President.
We're going to take charge of this thing.
At number 3, the action continues, and we're just going to ramp it up. It's going to be all action-filled for the last 3. Here we have Aaron Eckhart as President Benjamin Asher in the movie Olympus Has Fallen. This movie was released in 2013, rated R, runs an hour and 59 minutes, and was directed by Anton Fuqua. The film also stars Morgan Freeman as Speaker Trumbull and Gerard Butler as Secret Service agent Mike Banning. And basically, he finds himself trapped in the White House with the president and everybody else after the wake of a terrorist attack. And he works with the National Guard to try to get the president to safety. And man, this thing is a banger. And I will say also that the sequels are really exciting. This is a fantastic trilogy. If you haven't seen Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen, and Angel Has Fallen, check out these movies. It is a really exciting trilogy. So if you want to see a really good action-adventure thriller saving the President of the United States, check out Olympus Has Fallen.
He is ex-Special Forces.
40 commandos breached the gate, 28 are left.
Can we trust him?
With all due respect, I'm the best hope you've got.
And at number 2, we have Bill Pullman playing President Thomas J. Whitmore in the action-packed sci-fi extravaganza Independence Day, which came out in 1996, rated PG-13, and runs 2 hours and 25 minutes. And man, is this thing insane. I love sci-fi. I love action films. This thing just has it all. It's great alien attacks and fantastic cast. Like a lot of these things, similar to Mars Attacks, it's just stacked with a great cast. This is one of the breakout roles for Will Smith. Also stars Jeff Goldblum, Judd Hirsch, Mary McDonnell as the First Lady, Brent Spiner from Star Trek The Next Generation, and of course the absolute nut job, Randy Quaid.
Hello, boys! I'm back!
Go get him, Randy Quaid. So yeah, look, if you haven't seen this yet, I mean, this is a huge blockbuster when it came out. It's all about, blowing up landmarks. My gosh, if you love watching landmarks be absolutely destroyed, this is the one for you, including the White House and the Capitol building out there in Los Angeles and Hollywood. When they're on the roof, they're like, they're welcoming the aliens, and the aliens just blow everything to hell. Oh man, this is one. And of course, the speech by Bill Pullman when he's just ranting on, trying to rally everyone together to take on these aliens is one for the ages, man. So check it out. Sci-fi epic, Independence Day.
We're going to live on! We're going to survive! Today, we celebrate our Independence Day!
And at number 1, how could I not have this at number 1? He's my favorite actor, Harrison Ford, as President James Marshall in Air Force One. This movie came out in 1997, rated R, runs 2 hours and 4 minutes, and also stars Glenn Close as his vice president. And of course, Gary Oldman as the villain hijacks Air Force One with the president and his family on board. Meanwhile, his vice president, Catherine Bennett, tries to negotiate down on the land in Washington, D.C., while President Marshall is up there trying to save all the people on board. This is an absolute banger of a movie. Harrison Ford is perfect as President of the United States. He really commands this role, and it's an action tour de force. It's got a little bit of a janky CGI here and there when the Air Force One crashes and all that, but that's fine. It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's still a fantastic movie. Man, if you haven't seen this, come on now. This has got one of the greatest taglines ever. You know it. Here it comes.
Get off my plane.
That is going to do it today, y'all, for this video about my top 10 movies with the President of the United States in them. Did I miss some of your favorites? What are some of yours? Leave them in the comments below. Some of the people you love that have played the President, just let me know. Let me know in the comments. Let's get a little conversation going. But hey, the important thing is, get out there and vote. If you've already voted, good on you. In the meantime, if you just got here and this brought you to my channel, welcome. Please get down there, hit like, subscribe, smack the bell, leave a comment, and all that good stuff. In the meantime, get out and vote. Thank you to all my Cafe members for their support. And if you'd like to be a Cafe member to help support the channel, please consider hitting that join button now.